Hello everybody, this is Havoc, and welcome to Crusader Kings 3. Starting a new Let's Play, and I am very excited to finally get the showboat on the road. For those of you who are here because of my tutorial series, I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. For those of you who found me elsewhere, welcome. What we're going to do, we are going to start a new Let's Play in the 867 AD under the Legends of the Dead DLC, which is the newest, latest, and greatest Crusader Kings expansion. Lots of good stuff in here, lots of ways to build our legends, lots of plagues to also deal with. So, if this is what you're excited for, this is what you're ready for, you know what to do to support the channel. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and leave your comments in the comment section down below. Now, why did I pick the Magyar Confederation? And I'm sure I butchered that name. There's a lot of reasons, really. It is a very tumultuous time in 867 AD in this specific area. We have a confederation war to migrate into the Kingdom of Pannonia, which means that if we succeed, Bulgaria, or Hungary, I think it technically becomes, is ours. Now, that's a very interesting position for us because it gives us access to the west and to the east. We have the ability to raid as a tribal nation, and we have access to a gateway of trade and lots of stuff going in and out. There's room for expansion up north, perhaps a way to pursue some things into the east, and of course, some very big players all around us. It's a great position that should have a lot of intrigue, a lot of drama and events happen to it, and we start with a lot of things going for us. We're going to focus on our leader first, Grand Prince Almos Ugyekfi of the Magyar Confederation. He is a pretty strapping lad. Great diplomacy, some solid martial on him, decent stewardship, not so great at intrigue himself, and a decent bit of prowess. His wife, the Grand Princess Mutlu, is not too shabby either, not super great, but some overall fantastic traits. We are ambitious, gregarious, just, and calm, meaning we are an overall solid person. Not someone to be trifled with, but not someone who's going to just shy away from things either. We are a brilliant strategist, gallant, and a holy warrior. That means that we have a lot of military-focused things going for us, which makes sense considering our culture. Now, we are also Taoists, or Taoism, excuse me. We're an unreformed Uralic faith. And I'm not going to go into all of the details here, but we do have quite a few things that really make this faith very, very unique. And I'm excited for it. We have a lot of room to breathe, a lot of room to expand. We technically own a holy site, which will no longer be valid once we migrate. So we're going to want to perhaps go after different holy sites as well. Now, as for legends, this is one of the bigger parts. Right now, we can only pursue two of them. The Custodian of the Holy Site, which requires us to have a huge amount. We're Paragon of Virtue, and we're only at Tier 1. So we've got a long ways to go for that. Hunnic Heritage is a larger deal. Trace back our lineage to that of Attila, who fought Rome, and that requires a larger expanse that we still can't hit. We need to be illustrious. Right now, we're only distinguished. This is more viable, however, what we're going to do here, right off the bat, is we're going to go and appoint ourselves a court chronicler. The reason for that is going to be our champion, an average aptitude. By the way, I love the new system that just automatically tells you their aptitude, because we can use search for legends, which means in the meantime, we can push a way to find our own legend for ourselves. Super great, super awesome. We come over to the plagues real quick. There are no plagues at this time. We have an average guy. I'm not going to worry about him for now. We'll work all things out. Now, of course, we are going to be a martial focus. We have the gallant all the way filled up. This is super awesome. We are going to go ahead and push our prowess in the chivalry line because we will be leading our armies from the get-go. We also have an available dynasty legacy. And I'm going to go after heroes of old because this allows us to gain a great deed for our pod inside of a legend seed. I really like that idea. The whole heroic bloodline is a fantastic line to go through now with this new DLC. So once we hit play, we'll be able to go after the heroes of old. It won't trigger now. We could do a grand tournament and we could hold court. We should probably go ahead and hold court right off the get-go so we can get that done. All right, it's time to jester for the first people. My liege Grand Prince, my acquaintance Orban Erdodi, seeks the honor of serving in your retinue of champions. Let's take a look at him real quick, shall we? Absolutely, he is a fantastic knight. We definitely want him in. All right, my lord, I'm a genealogist. You're aware of your noble origin. However, noble is not quite the same as divine. I desire to write a scroll which shall trace your complete lineage back to the dawn of history. Oh, what? I can reveal the truth in the world. You are a true descendant of it. We get court grandeur. We're going to go for it. You better not screw me over. I'm sorry, my lord. My village in Oman was hit by the blight. We lost not only our crop, but our seed too. Yeah, we're definitely going to go with that. Please, peasants gives us a danger reduction and a popular opinion overall. Well, we probably don't even want to do that. Yeah, because we'll eventually win the war and move that way anyways. My business is done. We do have a couple of court artifacts. Of course, we can get our Arpad house banner or our dynasty. We are going to get both. And there we go. Now, of course, because we are a tribal nation, we cannot modify this. So we are stuck here, eventually going down to court grandeur level in between 1 and 2. That really kind of sucks, but there's nothing that we can do about it at this time. So no worries there. Our court will remain as best as it can. Let's address some things before we go to war again. We have a lot of champions, and well, champion slots empty, I should say. We are going to try and recruit lots of people, and if they happen to, you know, fall in battle, so be it. Super cheap, absolutely. That's a little too cheap and a little too not great. Now, what we can do is we can always do a call, correct? We're going to invite champions. We have a huge amount of prestige, so we have a lot that we can work with. So I'm not worried about that whatsoever. We still need 4. It's okay. Now, we do have too few concubines, and unfortunately, all we can do is invite our own courtier. So we're going to take that. That'll work. And then we need to station our men-at-arms. Now, our men-at-arms are actually... oh, they are unraised. Let's go ahead and station them very quickly. Remember, this doesn't actually matter in the long run because we are simply worrying about... we're simply trying to win this war and everything's going to migrate anyways. All right, that's pretty much all that we can accomplish at the moment. We haven't even hit play yet. Goodness gracious. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise all here. We have a war to fight after all. Oh, hold on. We are already into the stuff. After a few days, the genealogist returns. He unfurls a scroll long enough to encircle one of my provinces. My Taltos trips over it slightly as the unfurled scroll end rolls to my throne's foot. I have here the truth of your origin, my lord. Today we unveil a great history. Standing before us is Grand Prince Almos, son of Ugyek Dulo, sired by the faithful. I keep reading and reading and reading. Enough! The Magyar Confederation owes you for your services. That works for me. Absolutely. Boom. Simple enough as it is. We have taken our concubines. We are ready to rumble in the jungle. Now, we have quite a few more troops than he does. However, I think we need to try and pursue some things. Now, our son is already wed, which is great. Oh, and we actually have a champion arrive as well. So we're going to take a look at that. He's a decent lad, so we're definitely going to take him. He's going to cost just a wee bit of gold. I can handle that. And we are going to go ahead and have everyone... boom. I am the head, and the head is myself. We're going to move into enemy territory, and we're going to try and do our best to try and win this war quickly. All right, we've got the enemy back at our capital. It's a short little ways. Now, we have drastically everything better than them, including, well, everything. So this shouldn't really be a difficult battle. The question will be whether we capture someone very important or not. Here we go. The engagement is a piece of cake. They didn't even stand a chance, like, whatsoever. Very nice. Now, we gained a level of devotion, I believe, because this is possibly a holy war. And we are already at 57%. This will be a rather simple battle. And they were actually completely wiped, so we can run through here and be just fine for quite a while. And unfortunately, we have our first plague. Basilios' flux has already taken a hold in the Magyar Confederation. So what we're going to do is we aren't going to enter seclusion. We are going to isolate our capital, however. And then this is where we really need a court physician. We're going to search for one and see if one pops up. We'll deal with our council once this war is over, because I have a feeling we're going to get some new people anyways. There we go. 50 buckaroonies, that's a piece of cake. And then what we're going to immediately have them do is we are going to have them control plagues, which is going to give us a plague resistance of 15. Hopefully able to kind of take them off the issue of everyone being so torn by these plagues. This is the second person that has escaped my dungeons, but look at that hat. That is a fantastic hat, good sir. I can't even be upset that you've escaped. Now, unfortunately, that kind of sucks just because we really want those prisoners. But overall, it's going to be fine. We're going to be okay. We just have to kind of, ooh, okay, hold the phone. We're going to go ahead and wipe those raiders off the map. But what we're also going to do is we're going to work on getting back to our capital once again. Fight off some people who think they know what they're doing and who think that they have enough time to do it in, and they really desperately don't. It's too late, my friend. Yes, you are definitely going to get wiped. Nice, we have captured a valuable person. Oh, it's Prince Vladimir Rosate of Bulgaria. Now, what we can do is we could simply execute everyone if we wanted to. I am very, very tempted to execute a prince over here. And in fact, I think we will. Now, we are just, but I will admit that this is a little delightful. We're definitely not going to head and devour. However, we are going to definitely sacrifice. There we go. We are going to make sure that all of these people are sacrificed. Yes, indeed. Now we have our counts, we have our mayors, another person needs sacrificed. We are going to ensure that the highest level here are the people that definitely get sacrificed. Now we only have a few counts down here, but we definitely have a duke we can sacrifice on top of this. Congratulations, well done. We are still going to end this here. And unfortunately, there's no one that we can demand. It's a bit unfortunate. Admittedly, I do think that we, killed potentially everyone. But we are only going to do this once we have the victory. We have gained some legitimacy as well, and now we have lost all the old titles, but we have gained the Kingdom of Hungary. So this is well worth it. Now, unfortunately, we have some work to do. We have quite a few people here that we need to work on, and we are going to go ahead and start requesting all of these people give me all of their money. That will work. And we have to start giving away some things. Now, as a ruler of great renown as such, we have a lot of sucking up to do. I'm not going to lie. There's no other way to say it because that's what we are doing. So let's go ahead and take a look at our council. Our council is actually very solid overall. Our spy master could be someone of greater value. And in fact, we do have those people. Mayor Balaz really, really hates me. I really don't want to put someone who hates me in there. So we're going to go right like that. Kiksonger, welcome. Chieftain Embrus, welcome as well. Arpad, okay. And then Chieftain Vilmos. Now what we really need to do is we need to work on ensuring that our control is up and running as much as we can. Now, unfortunately, my wife doesn't really help with this area. She's not too great either. My court physician will go ahead and bring her into the fold as well. Why the heck not? But yes, we have a lot that we need to do here. And what we really want to focus on are the areas that kind of have a lot of not great, well, not the capital, but areas that don't have a lot to do here. Now, we could grant Bax. What we need to do is we need to have good opinion people that we, these are all my vassals. We're going to start recruiting a new group of people who are not so bad. Now, as you can see here, we have a lot of stuff that's going against us. It just is. No alliance is a powerful clan vassal. We have a lot of just negatives that we're going to have to deal with. But at the same time, I also know that we have too many duchies. Am I correct in this? I do have too many duchies. So what we want to look at is where we want to kind of give away our duchy system. Now, it looks like Visegrad, we could definitely grant to someone. Now, I don't necessarily want to grant it to my son because then he'll have too much to give away. Is there someone that I could trust? He's a fortune builder. I think I could definitely do that. We don't want to give away Bihar, or do we? I'm kind of tempted to keep things close to the chest. Transylvania, I don't know if that's one we want to worry about either. We're going to go ahead and grant to my player son and heir. There we go. And then let's go ahead and go after, ooh, I think we go after Bihar and we give that away. We grant it to my champion. Let's actually focus on prowess. My chancellor, he's already there. Zsolt. There we are. Now, all we have to worry about is just one more building and we are good. Now, out of all of these, I'm going to go ahead. That's the least one. We're going to go after Arad. Find someone who maybe doesn't like me quite as much, because we do have a lot to go down. All is well and good. There we are. Now, we should be able to get an alliance with my son, but I don't know that I really want to. We'll have to worry about that later. All right, we can disband all 100%. We're going to make a little bit of stuff back. And now we have our area. We have a lot of work to do because, wow, we need a lot of control and we need to punch our way through a lot of areas. However, that being said, we can do the great deed for our pod. Few bearing the name of our pod have done so much. All we're missing is 174 gold, which we could go raiding for, or we could work on Hunnic Heritage, which we're actually right there. To be honest, Devoted Servant isn't too far away from Paragon of Virtue. Unfortunately, due to our migration and our move, we do have a lot of empty spaces. And we also have something to do with Taltos. Big old belch echoes through the dining hall. My Taltos Conrad pats his stomach and grins. Better out and in, my dad always said. Various courtiers exchange incredulous glances before my wife looks directly at me. My grandprince, that was wholly inappropriate. No. Oh, goodness gracious. Nah, it's fine. Like, we all haven't had to let one loose before. Yeah, no, we're good. And that's actually going to give me a positive opinion with Taltos, which means that my faith is restored. Now, one of the benefits, again, of being a tribal is that we have our tax collectors. And our tax collectors are where we really want to kind of be able to influence things. So, for instance, the Mukata status, we don't really lose that much. However, what we gain is an opinion of our liege, which is what we really need overall. There we go. Now, we can't change that. However, the hope is that we are then able to go and take a look at our vassals and see that, well, for the most part, they all really, really like me. So hopefully that won't be too many issues. The real question is, what do we do next? Now, we could start our legend, the great deed of our pod. And in fact, we just might do that because I could really, really use it. Now, one of the best parts about legends is that we don't have to be the one that starts it. Technically, we could say that our father did it or our grandfather did it. And in fact, if we do so, we gain a little more legitimacy depending on how interesting the character was. So for instance, I could do my grandfather and I would get an additional legitimacy for being the legend protagonist. And if I filled this, I would gain a lot of legitimacy on top of it. And this only increases the more we go. Now, obviously, I can't do that right now, but it's something that we can start working on. So let's do it. There we go. The legend of Onidbila is as great and large as the world, for his deeds are unparalleled. Upon hearing vague rumors that plagued the land, Onidbila set his heart to accomplish the difficult endeavor. His legend culminates in a marvelous adventure. His great deeds of arms were such that all kings had wonder thereof, and many nobles and commoners came to his encounter, for they wished to see the legend of the flesh. However, that was not the end of the tale, for when he made his way home, he helped those in danger and avenged their affronts. Bandits, beasts, and evildoers could not hide from the fury of his blade. So now what we have is we need to be able to hire someone of good aptitude. And I don't know quite how to go about that. Because what I could do is we could totally put my queen in here for now. But what we can do is we can extol our domestic legend. We do have a court musician, which we could put my woman in. We could do that to boost it a further 10%. And I already have a court chronicler, and we could do commend legend abroad. Yeah, we'll do that for both, which means court chronicler and our... Oh, never mind. I had it all mixed up. That's fine. That works for us. We can kind of tackle both then. We can have them extolling the legend as well as commending abroad, which means people should start joining our stuff and be able to work on it very effectively. Now, I'm going to leave all that to them. What we need to do is we do need to go a raiding. We're going to go ahead and raise all of these boyos here. We do have quite a few. And we are being raided up north, which means we can go ahead and work on those as well. All right, we have our money. Oh, I did the wrong thing here. We're going to disband the army. And then I'm here to raise local raiders. There we go. Now that's going to give us the ability to start raiding and hopefully be able to make a little bit of dough as we plague these guys to our south. All right, you're weak and I'm strong. There's no justification needed. Okay, that's fine. We are going to come back here, and admittedly we are a little bit weak, but we're not so weak that we can't negotiate some alliances. So for instance, my son and heir, we're going to go ahead and invite him in. He should join no problem, which means I can now have him join my war. However, we're going to try and spread the word of our legend. I pause right and pause and write. The words for the missive must be chosen carefully. Matthias will not be looked kindly upon, but his support of the great deed would be boon indeed if I get it right. We gain some stress no matter what we do. But we will gain quite the driven person. Very nice. Started spreading the word. You can see we have a lot of promoters already. We have 4 legend promoters, which means we have spread in 8 baronies. And in order to upgrade, we need to have it spread to 100. So we definitely need to work on that. And I need to start heading home so I can start gathering the rest of my troops. On back, you're going to meet me there. We're going to get this war on the road. Ooh, a son. He is a wee little lad. Osakar Almosifi Arpad works for me. No issues with that. And it looks like, I thought this was a war of my own people, but it's the Bukovinian Conquest of the Chiefdom of Marmid, whatever. So yeah, we're definitely going to go after them. This will be an easy war. Super easy. He's even going up against his own peeps. That's totally fine. Easy war. A wonderful tale, the great deed of our pod continues to spread. Lord and lady alike are certain such a tale sets out their undeniable right to rule, but if you wander into a local tavern, it will be rife with those who say it's dedicated to the common folk. Here we go. Clearly it's a tale about Onibilia, no one else. Now this discount increases, which means I don't need as many in order to push it. So tell me, my lord. Her voice snaps me out of my thoughts. What about that time the Grand Prince Almos's invasion against King Boris ended in victory? That surely is worth adding. Oh, definitely. Changes a chapter if we win. She doesn't seem convinced. That's okay. But regardless, I do think it has changed a little bit. Not quite. That's okay, though. We need to go head out and attack over there while our neighbors or our allies... I thought they would stay. That's fine. A victory will help no matter what. And my word, we have more updates on our legend. I think carefully about what would be the best way to catch his eye. Oh no, we won't want to give that away. His liege's offer should suffice. He accepts gracefully. That's what we like to see. I've studied the Magyar language. Oh wow. Chief Vashata Mishtalovic of Soroka. Very nice. I commend you. It's not an easy language to learn whatsoever. And now Mayor Matthias uses that to become steward. That's okay. I have a daughter now, Zoltana. What about a good Catalan? There we go. May you grow to be strong and wise, my daughter, as we successfully fight off one attack, only for her to then be covered in sickness. Oh, we don't have any plagues close, although there are some deadly plagues roaming around. And he, for a second, wanted to come into this. Definitely not going to work. Singers occupy the wooden dais, filling the night with music. As I take a sip of my wine and close my eyes and allow myself a moment of rest. And now, listen, all listen. Great deed for our pod. The clamor of my courtiers fills the room. The sound of cutlery banging on the table. A doubtful thought haunts me. Am I worthy? But of course I'm worthy. Because, absolutely, yes, I am worthy. Get all that thoughts out of your head. And we are now illustrious, close to exalted among men. But now the water rises from the depths of the spring. Small bubbles break on the surface. I look down into the blue and see my own reflection. Small, strong, handsome, and worthy. Grand Prince Alamos. I turn around and see King Boris standing next to me, of Bulgaria, who was the person we just went to war with. Tell me of your legend. I've traveled many days to hear it. A kindred soul. Join me. Absolutely. We have a king as a legend promoter, and our legend spreads quickly. Look how fast it's already spread. We're a fifth of the way there. Lots going on overall, and the war's over with. Oh, I really wish I could demand people give me their hostages, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and enforce the demands. They pay me a decent bit of gold. I increase a lot of things. All well and good. Legitimacy has been gained as well. We are now at 2 out of 3. Pretty darn close to level 3. We definitely need to push it as much as we can. Can I turn this into a raiding army? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and bring them back. And it's a sad day. My dear Mutlu, I may not have loved you, yet I feel you're passing more acutely than I ever thought possible. You were always there. I take you for granted. My wife has died. Technically, that means I have room for a new spouse. And we could definitely go for some, but not before my kid comes in and interrupts. Go figure, a kid interrupting a conversation. As I lean over the map, my sudden creak turns my head. Appears in the hallway, toddling up at surprising speed for his age. He wraps himself around my leg, hugging me tight. Oh, you're a good kiddo. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Now, as for an alliance, I'm 54. I mean, there's just not much that's gonna happen. I have to admit it. So the real question is, what do I want to look for? I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and look for something really nice in terms of a good stewardship skill. And we do have someone, Julia. She has some great regional traits, as well as our faith. I would lose 400 legitimacy. Is it because she's a lowborn? Obratska, Palamonatis, High Chieftain of Lithuania. You know what? That's okay. She's 16. It'll work out. We do get some troops in there to help us out on that front. All will be well and good. There we go. We now have my wife. We're going to slap her on the council. She's managing domain, but I'm going to point her towards chivalry. Never mind. We're going to manage the domain and be good with that. In holding court, a haggard-looking peasant stands in front of me. My lord, I beg of your help. A monster prowls in the forest of Kiev, killing cattle and farmers alike. Few have seen it, but the mangled remains of its poor victims leave no doubt. It's a huge boar, as bloodthirsty as ever. We're going to try and go after this beast, for sure. My vassal takes a turn, bending an ear. Give me the honor of managing the upkeep and expansion of your fine... Ooh, a royal architect. Don't mind if I do. Well, what does this guy look like? Misguided warrior, he's reckless. And a Hastuluder. That's fine. We'll give him that job. That is totally cool with me. Man who approaches my throne is clearly a commoner. Represent the local community. Cemeteries have been plagued with the disappearance of bodies. Yeah, we're definitely just going to have him cut it off. A simple day in court should be wrapped up in many ways. For one, I do think we're going to go on a hunt. Now, these tend to cost quite a pretty penny, but we're going to plan a hunt. Unfortunately, we don't have a legendary sighting, and that's okay. We're going to go for a regular old hunt, and I definitely think we're going to head over to Sezgared. Caravan Master, we're going to put our champion in charge here. We shouldn't experience any troubles whatsoever. A reasonable party works for me. We need a good success chance. I think would be very, very helpful. We're there to slay a beast. That is my reasoning. Let's go ahead and start the hunt. We're going to include many people. It's not going to take long to get there, but that's all well and good. Works for me. Oh, crap. Had so many hopes for you, my sweetest child. All the things you would learn, experience, and do. So many possibilities. Maybe you would have had children of your own one day. Almost on our pod. Unfortunately, needs to rest in peace as we head for our hunt. We await. My servants get started on the preparations. The gamekeepers check the woodlands each day while establishing a camp closer to the hunting grounds. Alright, I have yet to name a master of the hunt. I could take on the responsibilities, but every good Grand Prince should know when to delegate. No, absolutely. Yep, Vincel, welcome. Gains a role as the master of the hunt. He looks like he could use it. And now all the preparations are set. Set out with a selected group of guards to face the infamous monster. Face me, you foul beast. Yes, we can definitely take that on. There's a chance of death. But I've gone and killed the monster while on the hunt as well. It's a good day. Alright, a stout buck is definitely in the area. The conditions are set. We're going to try and hunt for a wolf instead. Poachers. They huddle together as I ride with my guards, making a poor job of hiding. We did not do this. Their blades and bows belie them. Poacher training. Ooh. Well, it'd be great to know what that is, but that's okay. They will hang and the villages will pay. I think we're ambitious and we're just. We're going to go ahead and let them off the hook, but it better not frickin' happen again. Now, my vassal, the whole wolf pack crouches in a hollow. The beasts bolt on our approach. Howling alarms, they retreat. We chase after them, focusing on the largest of the group. Now the real hunt begins. And we are going to try and ambush the sucker because we are patient and just. Oh, the slippery wolf has many tricks. Blinches and rushes can fool even the most experienced of hunters. He's halted the party. The wily wolf has been doubling to and fro, retracing its steps. There's no agreement over which course to follow. Patience. This should be easy to solve. We may have found the scent. Plans were for naught. The beast sensed our trap and refused to be led into the ambush. Ah, clever girl. Clever girl indeed. Well, heeding the call of the wilds and adventure, the outing delivered a good and bad in abundance. Gathers a disappointed party and we are exhausted. However, we lost a great deal of stress because we're gregarious. We gained 3 experience towards the Venator. We gained legitimacy, as well as a lot of prestige. And then every Glory Hound vassal gained an opinion boost of me. So it's not that bad overall. Yeah, we'll go ahead and finish the hunt. That's okay. And in the midst of everything, whoa, Polabia, who in the crap are you? I can only attempt 1 subjugation per, right? But I don't even know that I could subjugate these larger boyos. King Radomil. I think it makes sense. We're going to subjugate him. It's going to cost a heavy penny, but we have so much prestige, doesn't really matter. We have a lot more soldiers than they do, as well as some allies, so that's really going to be the nail in the coffin for him. We're going to go ahead and declare war. Absolutely. Now I'm going to call on my ally, and we are going to spend a little bit of dough, so that way we can get that running. And it's not even dough, it's everything else. It's prestige. We're going to raise everyone here, and we are going to have ourselves a grand time. Allies join the war. I think we're still in one of the best positions that we can be in. Now we need to start taking over these small parts first, and then we'll start booking it north. It looks like the enemy has more soldiers, but that's it. Oh, and that's not even the advantage that they have now. We're going to catch them out in the open, which even in the defensive stance, they are wily. That's for daggum sure. There we go. We'll catch them here. I think we could have even taken them on in the midst of this without reinforcements. However, sitting around the map table, we're going to discuss our strategy as the battle commences. Vilmos eagerly points out all the prime targets we should immediately send raiding parties to pillage, while our pod sits back and patiently advocates for us to secure critical locations. Now, what we can do here is we could have a great deal of defense, which I think would be really, really good. Pillaging is great, don't get me wrong, but I think Prince Arpad has the right deal, especially in the moment as we fight King Radomil of Polabia. We need to capture some critical people here. Don't know if that happened, but perhaps it did. And now we're going to scurry across the land and really hope that we can nail some of these larger capitals, maybe even Polabia itself, and force an early departure. I think we could, based on how it's going so far. Well, the game crashed, just so you know. When I reloaded, things are happening a little bit differently. Now, admittedly, we still have a very large independent faction who will probably declare war on me very soon. However, we've been invited to a hunt, so like, why the heck not? We'll definitely join him. We don't encounter any issues, so we're going to go a long ways. We're going to let things roll how they do, knowing there's a rebellion on the way. But we're going to go on a hunt. I can't wait, absolutely. However, along the way, I am Guya of Sabolks. I have bested dozens of men in combat, and honestly, all those fights were dull. So here I am on this road looking for someone better than me, someone I can learn from. If you can beat me in combat, which we should be able to, I'll become a valuable and loyal servant. Yeah, we're definitely going to win this one. Oh, okay. Well, that was rude. That's all right. It happens to the best of us. We're going to go ahead and get some ransoms. We have some factions being created against us, just some populace. Nothing too crazy. And then while we are on our way, it's not the first time I catch my champion fiddling around with some flowers. Sometimes I swear to hear him singing. My liege, it's not a secret that my heart has found a new home far from home. Sorry about that. My soul aches for Maria, my desires no end, her eyes, her hair, to courtier. I long for just a salute, I die for a word. Yeah, sure. Or, yeah, let's go ahead and bring her on the entourage. Like, what's the worst that could happen? This broski is freaking massive, my word. Absolutely, yes, I will do whatever you tell me to. Soon, absolutely. No worries there. The intent is recreation? Or can it be something more? Now, while we're here, Boris, my neighbor's ruler, would do well to be swayed to support my cause and spreading the word. We could do a subtle threat. We could do an appeal, or we can send it as is. We're going to go ahead and do an appeal. All right, there we go. He's spreading it. Fantastic. Are we going for recreation? I think we're going to slay a beast. I want to have a very good hunt in that area. Nice. We flushed out a prey. We bonded over hunting. Fantastic. Peering across the landscape, I suddenly double take. There it is. Branching antlers and all. The quick buck is hard to distinguish, but there's no doubt it's there, observing us through the leafy bushes. Come, we will cut it off. We watch for the row from our concealed bowline, tensing with anticipation. Chieftain Vilmos carefully takes aim. Hooves pounding in the dirt. The arrow strikes true straight through the beast's heart. Very well done. There we go. All right. So we have gained row antlers, which gives us a good deal of prestige, some stress gain, tyranny loss, as well as we're well on our way to our Venator status. I will take it all. Oh, I guess I didn't actually get that. Well, I guess that's a little bit rude. On our way home, we pass by a peculiar-looking tent slayed open, with more peculiar-looking occupant inside. Come inside, almighty Prance. I can tell you many miles to go. A reading of your future? Yeah, no, I'm not that interested. However, they do have a good deal of learning. We'll go ahead and bring you in. I need to find a spot for you. A wet nurse wouldn't be good. A court tutor would actually be really good. Master of the horse. You know what? Let's go ahead and get these guys in here. We have the capacity. We might as well. My high almoner. We're going to go ahead and fill these areas out and make ourselves a lot better than we were before. Yes. So it doesn't look like I exactly have a place for them, which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. Just thought we would have us someplace a little bit better. All right, full independence of Polania. I will not be threatened. Bring it on. We're going to rally the troops. We're going to raise all of our armies. Now, what we haven't been able to do is we haven't been able to raise absolutely everyone. But I can call on my ally. We're going to call him to war. And to be quite frank, we've actually been doing really, really good. And I think we could hold them off. I've learned the High Chieftain foolishly takes up arms alongside my enemy. Oh, no. This petty great holy war has lain bare the worth of his promises. Well, there we go. I killed you. Yep. Yep, that's what you did. And so, oh, sweet heavenly mercy. Okay, well, this will be a great war to work on next time. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have enjoyed Prince Almos. We have already gained quite a thing around Hungary. Now, will it stand? We will have to find out next time. If you want to support the channel, you can do so by simply giving the video a like, subscribing to the channel, or becoming a YouTube member. In this next episode, I will incorporate all of the YouTube members, so that way we can have them in here. And as always, YouTube members get early access to videos beforehand, depending on how quickly I can get them out. Thank you so much once again. This is Havoc, Crusader Kings 3. I'll see you in the next one.